From poets like Shakespeare, Keats, and Shelley, to great philosophers such as Plato and Aristotle, to everyday people like you and I, the concept of romantic love fascinates us. What makes an individual fall in love with another, and why are so many people obsessed with finding it? Well, behind the sensation of love, one can find a definite biological explanation, and by understanding it, one will learn to love better, as well as gain a new perspective on what makes love, love.
This is Emman, a 19-year-old male. Like any other pubescent male human, he is prone to mood swings, curious about his sexuality, and most importantly, very, very single. However, that's going to change shortly. Here we see Emman catching a glimpse of someone he finds attractive. Like many males, upon seeing someone beautiful, he is enthralled by her appearance and stares at her. His palms are slowly getting sweaty, his breath becoming shorter and shorter, and he feels warm all over. It's clear that Emman is very interested in the female, but why does this happen? Well, to understand, we have to look at the nervous system and the endocrine system. It all starts with dopamine, a neurotransmitter that helps control movement and emotional responses. It's produced in the brain and the adrenal glands. It affects the senses, the genitals, and sweat glands, among others. It's responsible for the pleasure one feels upon obtaining something he desires. So how does this message get to and from the parts of the body? It's all in the neurons, cells in the nervous system that carry information. They transmit signals when stimulated by sensory input or by neighboring neurons. Dendrites receive info, fires an action potential, sending info down to the axon to the synaptic knob. This causes the neurotransmitters found in the synaptic vesicles to be released into the fluid-filled space here in between the two cells, called the synapse. The neurotransmitters fit into the receptor sites of the target cell, which may be another neuron or cell on a muscular gland. They create a new signal traveling down the target cell. The various neurotransmitters are cleared out through reuptake, where they get reabsorbed by the neuron that fired them. As we go back to the male and the female humans, we see that the male is very anxious to approach the female. The desire to approach the individual is a result of the increase of testosterone and estrogen, sex hormones produced by the gonads in the endocrine system, in both the male and the female. These are responsible for the libido and sex drive of an individual. It seems the male has finally approached the female and is starting to woo her. As with most human courtship traditions, we see that the male is doing his best to keep the conversation going, albeit he is a pubescent specimen and is in the process of learning how to properly attract a mate. His attempts are very eccentric. Luckily for our male, the female seems to find him attractive, so she seems set on getting him to ask her out. We now find that our subject here has become infatuated to the female. He can't think of anyone else but her. He desires to be with her more and more. He can't sleep and he lost his appetite. So they see each other again and again and again. And every time they do, the sensory system sends signals to the brain that tells it to produce more and more norepinephrine and dopamine, which makes the male and female feel overwhelming happiness and euphoria when they spend time together. Norepinephrine is a neurotransmitter involved in arousal and mood. Because of this, we can see their outward reactions, such as dilated pupils, increased heart rate, sweating, and shortness of breath. The sympathetic division of the autonomic nervous system is at work here, triggered by their extreme excitement of being together. Present also is the neurotransmitter called phenylethylamine, and together with norepinephrine, they are responsible for Emman here to become more alert and focused, as he remembers all the little details of his moments with this girl. People in love like Emman here also have low levels of serotonin, also a neurotransmitter that deals with mood, sleep, and appetite, which are comparable to people with obsessive-compulsive disorder. This is probably why he's so attracted and so obsessed with his new love. The concoction of neurotransmitters combined with the arousal of one's body results in the blissful feeling of a new flame. He constantly seeks more of what made him feel good. The effect can be compared to cocaine because the pleasurable feeling is extremely addicting. It blocks dopamine reuptake sites, leaving dopamine to stay active in the synapse longer. Also, what is mainly involved with falling in love is the limbic system of your brain. Some structures it includes are the thalamus, the hypothalamus, and the amygdala. The amygdala shuts down during early love. Thus, Emman gets less bothered by things, clouding his judgment. Furthermore, this attraction is stronger for pubescent individuals. This intense feeling of desire and attraction is also the reason why new couples are very sexually active, usually.
As time goes on, the addictive attraction phase slowly dies down and gives way for a deeper attachment. Sure, one can love someone based on desires and libido, but after a while the sensation dies down. More often than not, pubescent relationships end at attraction because for all the physicality and honeyed words, no real attachment is formed. Yet, something keeps our specimen's relationship alive and pleasurable. This is due to the hormones oxytocin and vasopressin, which are produced in the hypothalamus and released through the pituitary gland. Oxytocin helps reinforce bonding and gets released in moments of intimacy, such as cuddling and upon orgasm. As for vasopressin, it is a hormone that helps with loyalty and fidelity. So after all of that, you can all see that love is much more than an abstract thought. It's all just chemicals in our bodies. It is a biological process that was developed to assist in the propagation of humanity. However, that doesn't mean that you have to think differently about love. In fact, with the knowledge that you, the viewer, has gained, you can enrich your view on love and make it all the more fulfilling.